90-Day Fiancé. Before the 90-Day star, Vanja Grbic background story is an emotional one and reflects on the person Vanja has become now. Vanja is a 42-year-old woman from Florida who began her reality TV journey with Season 7 of the 90-Day Fiancé spin-off. Vanja seemed the happy-go-lucky type during her introduction. Vanja worked 4 jobs. Vanja earned a living through belly dancing and baking vegan treats. Vanja was living in Orlando, Florida when she went to Croatia to meet Tinder match Bozo Vrdoljak for the first time. Vanja had her own house and her own car, and was confident about every aspect of her life, except relationships. 11 years ago, Vanja used to be engaged to the man she thought would be the one. However, the man was cheating on Vanja and living a double life. It had been very difficult for Vanja to bounce back. 8 months before filming, Vanja took a solo trip back home to reconnect with her country, her culture, and her people. She went to Slovenia, Bosnia, Serbia, and Croatia. She ended up in Split and came across absolute perfection basketball player Bozo. Vanja grew up in Bosnia. Vanja is originally from Eastern Europe. Vanja spoke about how, at first, growing up in Bosnia was the most magical childhood. However, when she was 10 years old, the whole country separated and broke into pieces and a war started. Vanja had gone to visit her grandparents with her family. They were getting into their car to start driving back home when they saw missiles exploding. The night sky was lit up, and the ground started shaking. "We were never able to go back home," Vanja recalled. They ended up having to stay at her grandmother's house. Vanja moved to Florida when she was 10. Vanja now lives in Orlando, Florida. Custom image by Cesar Garcia. They had no electricity or water for a year. They ended up boiling flour and onions, and they called it the black soup. They ate it for months. They got bombed all the time. Vanja was almost killed on a couple of occasions. She would never forget sitting in the basement for days at a time because the air raids were happening. Bombs were dropping everywhere, and Vanja could feel the ground shake. She didn't know if the next one was going to drop on her. To have to go through that level of stress and trauma as a child, it is absolutely devastating. Vanja wished to reconnect with her roots when she met Bozo. Will Vanja date someone from Croatia again? Vanja explained that the war in Croatia had not been as devastating as it was in Croatia, but Bozo's family had been affected by it, just like everybody else from the former Yugoslavia. Bozo understood what she had to overcome and the scars she carried in her heart. It was always going to be a part of who she and Bozo are. Vanja was proud of them for being survivors and for what they had accomplished. Vanja was taking the relationship very seriously, but in the end, she got her heart broken on 90-Day Fiancé. Before the 90 days, Vanja Grbic, a prominent figure from the reality TV series 90-Day Fiancé, Before the 90 days, has a background story that is both poignant and inspiring. At 42 years old, this Florida resident has navigated a life filled with challenges and triumphs, shaping her into the person she is today. Vanja first graced our screens in Season 7 of the popular spin-off, where she initially appeared as a vibrant and carefree individual. Her multifaceted life included juggling 4 jobs, earning a living through her passion for belly dancing, and baking delicious vegan treats. However, her journey took a significant turn when she traveled to Croatia to meet her Tinder match, Bozo Vrdoljak, for the first time. Despite her outward confidence, which included owning her own home and car, Vanja struggled with her romantic life. 11 years prior, she had been engaged to a man she believed was her soulmate, only to discover that he was leading a double life and cheating on her. This betrayal left deep emotional scars, making it difficult for Vanja to trust again. In an effort to heal and reconnect with her roots, she embarked on a solo trip back to her homeland 8 months before filming. This journey took her through Slovenia, Bosnia, Serbia, and Croatia, ultimately leading her to Split, where she encountered the absolute perfection of Bozo. Vanja's early life in Bosnia. Vanja's story begins in Eastern Europe, where she experienced what she describes as a magical childhood in Bosnia. However, her idyllic upbringing was shattered when she was just 10 years old. The country underwent a tumultuous separation, leading to the outbreak of war. During a visit to her grandparents, Vanja and her family were caught in the chaos as they prepared to return home. They witnessed missiles exploding in the distance, illuminating the night sky and shaking the ground beneath them. "We were never able to go back home," Vanja recalled, as they were forced to take refuge in her grandmother's unimaginable hardships. For an entire year, Vanja's family lived without electricity or running water. They survived on a meager diet, boiling flour and onions to create what they called black soup. The constant threat of bombings loomed over them, and Vanja faced life-threatening situations on multiple occasions. She vividly remembers the terror of sitting in a basement for days, listening to the air raids and feeling the ground tremble beneath her. To have to go through that level of stress and trauma as a child is absolutely devastating, she reflected. A new beginning in Florida. When Vanja was 10, her family made the difficult decision to leave Bosnia and start anew in Florida. The transition was not easy, but it offered them a chance to escape the violence and instability of their homeland. Settling in Orlando, Vanja began to rebuild her life, but the scars of her past remained. The trauma of her childhood experiences shaped her worldview and influenced her relationships. As she grew older, Vanja became determined to reconnect with her roots. This desire for connection played a significant role in her decision to meet Bozo, who, despite being from Croatia, understood the struggles and scars that Vanja carried. Their shared history as survivors of the war created a bond that transcended cultural differences. A complicated relationship with Bozo. Vanja's relationship with Bozo was marked by both hope and heartache. While she was initially excited about the prospect of love, the complexities of their backgrounds added layers of difficulty. Vanja appreciated that Bozo's family had also been affected by the war, and he understood the emotional baggage she brought into their relationship. This mutual understanding was a source of strength for them, as they navigated the challenges of building a life together. However, despite their deep connection, Vanja ultimately faced heartbreak on 90 Day Fiancé. Before the 90 days, the emotional toll of her past, combined with the pressures of reality television, proved to be too much for their relationship to withstand. Vanja's journey serves as a reminder of the resilience of the human spirit, as she continues to seek love and healing in the aftermath of her experiences. Reflections on identity and healing. Vanja's story is not just about her romantic endeavors, it is also a testament to the power of identity and healing. Her experiences have shaped her into a strong, independent woman who is proud of her heritage. The scars of her past have not defined her. Instead, they have fueled her desire to connect with others and share her story. As she continues her journey, Vanja remains committed to embracing her roots and celebrating her culture. Her experiences have taught her the importance of resilience and the value of love, both for herself and for others. While her relationship with Bozo may not have turned out as she had hoped, Vanja's story is far from over. She is determined to find happiness and fulfillment. Vanja Grbic, the central figure of the story. Vanja is a 42-year-old woman from Florida with a rich and complex background. Originally from Bosnia, she experienced the trauma of war during her childhood, which has profoundly shaped her identity and relationships. Vanja is a resilient individual who has worked multiple jobs, including belly dancing and baking vegan treats, to support herself. Her journey on 90 Day Fiancé, Before the 90 Days, highlights her quest for love and connection, as well as her struggles with trust and heartbreak. Bozo Vrdoljak, Vanja's Tinder match and love interest. Bozo is a Croatian basketball player who embodies the charm and allure that initially draws Vanja to him. He represents a connection to her roots and a shared understanding of the scars left by the war in their homeland. Bozo's character is marked by his empathy and support for Vanja as he navigates the complexities of their relationship. However, their love story is fraught with challenges, ultimately leading to heartbreak. Vanja's family. Vanja's family plays a significant role in her backstory. They are the ones who fled Bosnia during the war, and their experiences have influenced Vanja's outlook on life. Her parents' resilience and determination to create a better life for their children serve as a source of inspiration for Vanja. Their struggles and sacrifices are a constant reminder of the importance of family and heritage. Vanja's grandparents. Vanja's grandparents represent the older generation that experienced the war firsthand. Their home becomes a refuge for Vanja and her family during the conflict, symbolizing safety and love amidst chaos. The stories and traditions passed down from her grandparents help Vanja reconnect with her cultural roots.